Hello, my name is Rob Garn. I'm a software development instructor, and today I'm going to go over the software required for Unity game development. So we're going to need to do the following things. We're going to need to update our operating system and drivers, install Git if you don't already have it. We're also going to install Git large file system because Unity has some large files, and install GitHub Desktop to just make it easier to work with GitHub. We'll be using VS Code as our code editor, Blender for doing our 3D work, and Unity. Finally, install Unity Hub and the Unity editor. One of the first things you're going to want to do, if you haven't already done it, is update your operating system and to make sure that it's got the latest updates. On Windows, you run Windows Update. On Mac OS, run your software update. On Linux, use your distributions update tool. You're also going to want to make sure that your graphics drivers are updated. It depends on what kind of graphics driver you have. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, update from NVIDIA. AMD, use AMD. If you have Intel graphics, update from Intel or your computer manufacturer. You'll also want to install Git, and you can obtain that from the gitscm.com website. You'll pick which operating system you use and download the appropriate one. So for example, for me, it would be the Git for Windows x64 setup, and go through the install script, and that will install it. The next thing to install is Git LFS, large file system. This is needed because we often have large files when we're doing game development. And one of the disadvantages of using Git for game development is that above a certain size, I believe it's about 100 meg or gig or something like that, your GitHub doesn't work very well. So what Git LFS does is it takes those large files and allows us to specify which types of files we want to store in a different place. And those files are not going to be versioned the same as our text files, but that's okay because the next thing to install is Git LFS, that large file system.
So we'll use
this
Git
is needed
LFS
because
to
we
handle
often
those
large files
files.
when we're development.
When you go to
one of the
GitLFS.com,
disadvantages of using development is that
show
above
you
a certain
the
size,
correct
I believe it's
download. You can
about
also go
100
to here,
meg or gig. Or
I'm just going to grab
the
link
from
your
it's showing me install the latest version. GitHub allows us to specify which types of files we want to store in a different. And those files
that
are not
installs
going to be
Git
versioned
large file
the same
system.
as our text
can
files,
read
but that's
about
okay
it
because
more
usually those
here.
are files we don't really
We
need to
will
have versioned that
show-
way.
I
So
will
we'll
show
use Git
how to use
LFS
it for what we're doing.
to handle.
When you
Next
go
is
to
GitHub
GitLFS.com,
Desktop. I'm just going to grab
and this
the link from
installs a GUI
Install
made by
the latest
GitHub
version.
that allows us to work with Git.
it gives us a convenient way of working with repos. And sometimes you want to work with the
And let it
repo.
complete
We're going
the
to find the
install.
Visual Studio Code has its own
and that
GUI
installs
interface
Git large
for
file
Git.
system.
About it more. This one is useful
will
to have on hand.
I will show
So we'll
how to use it.
install
for what
that.
we're doing.
And I've already have it installed. This will probably just do an update for me, but when you're done, it'll open up and you'll be able to use this to work with your Git repos. Next is Visual Studio Code. We'll be using Visual Studio Code to edit our code. It's a nice lightweight code editor and it works on all operating systems. So I've been starting to standardize on this a little bit more because if you have a Mac or you have Linux, this will work there as well. By default, I think Unity it may install Visual Studio, but we're going to use Visual Studio Code. And so you'll just download it for Windows. There's a lot of new AI stuff that they're bringing on board. When it's done, go ahead and install it. And you can pick where you want to have it installed. I recommend enabling these things open with code in your Windows Explorer directory. It makes it a lot easier to open it up. You can choose whether you want a desktop icon. I don't usually do desktop icons. Enable the register with code and add to path. And then you can do an install. I've already got it installed, so I'm not going to click install, but that's what I recommend for your choices here. The next piece of software that we're going to want is Blender. This will allow us to do 3D modeling. You can find it by going to blender.org and the download link. And this also works on Mac, Linux, and everything else. So you can donate if you would like to. It looks like they have several mirrors that are set up to... and then we'll just run through the install for Blender. Blender is an open source project. That's why you see all these donation buttons on here. It is completely open source and free resource, and so they survive on donation. The final one to install is Unity. To install Unity, go to unity.com, and there'll be a link to download Unity. And there'll be a link here. What you're going to be installing here is the Unity Hub, not actually the Unity editors directly. So depending on what type of machine you are on, it'll download the correct one for your machine. Or actually, it looks like if you're on Mac or Linux, you have to go grab one of these. And then you'll run that application. I'm going to accept the user agreement. I'm going to let it install in the default location. And then I'm going to let it run Unity Hub. So the next thing it's going to ask is, once Unity Hub runs, is if you want to install a Unity editor. So Unity Hub is basically there to allow you to install multiple editors, because different games will, or depending on when you build your game is associated with a particular editor version. What you'll find is that if you're working with a team, you're going to need to coordinate what version of Unity you're in. And if you're in one of my courses, then you will need to check with me or check with your instructor to find out what version the class will use. And it's probably a good idea to stay with with one version for an entire group effort, because otherwise, if everyone's kind of out of sync, when you make a group project, you'll be constantly changing Unity versions and upgrading, and people on an earlier version will not be able to open up your application. So especially when you're working on a team, you need to agree to the Unity version. So I'm going to install the latest here. And I have some projects that are on this machine, so when I open them up, I'll probably be updating them to that version. I tend to like to stay on the long-term support, latest versions, and just stay up to date. So we'll come back when this has finished installing. After this is complete, you'll see an offer here to start a project. So this should install Unity 6.4. And when you first start, you won't have any projects. And there's a little in-editor tutorial. I'm going to run through this just to see what it does. Okay, so this brings up a little thing to start a tour. And let's see what it tells us. So we've got visual aids. That's cool. So you can complete this tutorial on your own. It will guide you through some of the fundamentals of Unity, and I'm not going to run through that here. It is essentially self-guided. So I'm going to complete this and then continue on afterwards. So over here is the project window. This is where we have all the assets that we're going to create for our project. They will be they're basically in the folder that our project will live in. If you actually go into the File Explorer, you'll see the same folder structure with everything that's there. This is the scene view. This is actually what your game looks like. In this case, this is a 3D game, so you're seeing a 3D viewport. If you make a 2D game, it'll be a 2D game port. This is the hierarchy. This is a list of all the items that are in this scene. So for example, this cube is one of these, is this red box over here. So everything that you see in the scene here will be indicated over on the left. And you can see as I select things, they get identified here with these widgets. This is the inspector window. So when you select something in the scene, the inspector window is giving you the properties for the thing that you have selected. And then, okay, so now they're going to, they're providing us a player robot. And so here we have a prefab folder. Prefabs are basically components that you create that you can reuse. And so they want us to bring in a player robot. Okay, they want us to just bring it into the scene view. So there we have it. And we can see, by the way, to move around the scene, if you hold the middle mouse button, it'll pan. If you hold the right mouse button and move your mouse, it'll rotate. So between panning and rotating, you can move around an object. So middle mouse button to pan, right mouse button and mouse to rotate, middle mouse button and mouse to pan, and you can go all around. So when you initially work with this, I recommend practicing moving around the scene. And then the scroll wheel will zoom in and out. Between those three are usually enough to maneuver however you need to. So we've got the robot selected. And here we have a transform. And so we're going to set this to -10. And the Y value 5 and the Z value to 0. And so this is called a transform. A transform basically is an object that has all the references that you need for your object as far as position, rotation, and scale. And then we can hit play mode. And by moving our, and so we have a third person view, jump and rotation using WASD and using the mouse to look around. And this game has a pickup. We're going to learn how to make all these things in this course. And then we can stop. And we can save this scene. And they have more tutorials. So now you'll have everything that you need to do development with Unity and Blender. We have Git in order to work with Git repositories. We have the large file system in order to work with our larger files without having them mess up our Git repo. We have GitHub Desktop, VS Code to do our code editing, Blender to do 3D modeling, Unity Hub to load Unity editors, and then the latest Unity editor. So the next thing we're going to do is see how we create a Unity project and check it into source control.